What is going on, everybody? First and 10 right here. We got a new thread coming in post week 18 NFL 2024 season. Regular season has just wrapped up last night. And I wanna bring up something new to you guys I'm really excited about. Make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. I want to talk about New Orleans Saints rebuild heading into the 2025 NFL season. There's some things that I went over real quick, and I want to bring up to you guys and see what your guys' point of view is on it. Some of you aren't Saints fans, some of you are NFL fans. I'm talking to New Orleans and whoever wants to listen in. So, just going over it real quick. On our offense and defense was terrible, both sides of the ball, all three phases. Special team was okay. Offense was terrible. Defense was terrible. Especially how we started out 2-0 and everybody had us in the Super Bowl. And 91 total points scored in the first 2 weeks when our roster was healthy. And it's just a quick dive down, 7 straight losses. Fired Dennis Allen, week 9. Interim head coach Darren Rizzi comes in, wins 2 games, and we finished 5-12 on the year. Finished 5-12 on the year, and we are now picking 9th overall in the 2025 NFL draft. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, this is our key stats heading into the offseason. We have 19.9 points per game on offense, ranked 24th. We have allowed 320 yards on offense, which is ranked 24th. 5.3 yards per play, 17th, 35.2 on third down percentage, which is 28th, and we have a 58% red zone percentage, which is ranked 11th. Now, when you look at those stats, you think ass, right? Totally terrible. And when you come off first 2 weeks of the year, would they have like 20 straight drives with points? So definitely a letdown. And this just goes to show you there's no depth on this roster. They've been kicking the can down the road for way too long, and we have no depth to fulfill the positions when they're injured. That leading to me, I want to talk about head coach, what I would want to do and what the Saints are going to do. So being a Saints fan, I've noticed that what they should do, they don't do. I've already seen reports coming out that John Gruden is interested in the job and the Saints have a strong position to hire him. And that is the worst thing the New Orleans Saints could do. If I'm telling you right now, the general manager, Mickey Loomis, will be his last straw. If Gail Benson allows this clown to go out and hire John Gruden when Derek Carr can't even stay healthy for a whole fucking season, she is out of her mind for letting that slide. John Gruden is not the answer in New Orleans. There's a lot of head coaches candidates that are not the answer in New Orleans. I want to talk about the ones that I would like to see the Saints hire. Coming off of the first one, I'd love for them to get Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator on the Detroit Lions. I mean, if you guys have watched the Lions games all season, you guys know what I mean. This dude is a stud, electric on the defense. He is a defense menace, okay? I'm not for defensive coordinators getting hired into head coaching jobs. I'm not a defensive kind of guy. I'd love for them to stick with the style that they moved into this season, which I think is Joe Brady, offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. I think would be a tremendous hire to sit right up on top of Clint Kubiak. And that Shanahan style offense, I think, would be great in New Orleans. And last, what I would recommend, there's only 3 that I would agree with. And the third one is Mike Vrabel, coming out of the special team, or I think he's doing like a specialist type role right now with the Browns. I think I wouldn't mind him down in New Orleans either. He took a Tennessee team that wasn't even talented to the playoffs and beat the Ravens and the Patriots with Tom Brady. So I'd like Mike Vrabel also. I wouldn't like to see it, though. I would like to have Aaron Glenn or Joe Brady. Get rid of the defensive mindset. Keep Joe Brady or Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn only because he's such a tremendous defensive coordinator. That leads me into the next topic here, trades and cutting, okay? If you're not going to restructure these contracts and save cap room, I would get rid of these players, either Cameron Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu, Jawan Johnson, and Carl Granderson. Carl Granderson has been a great piece on the Saints defense for a while now, and he's just stepped into his role, but he's pushing 30 years old, Juwan Johnson is not good. He had a good season the year before in 2023, but when it's his time to shine, he doesn't. Okay, he's had like 4 touchdowns on the year, 600 and some yards, and like 40 catches. Got to go. If you're not gonna go out there and play with Travis Kelce or Dallas Goedert and all these other good tight ends, Sam Laporta, and why are you here? Get out. Tyrann Mathieu, he's washed up. He's injured every 4 weeks with a busted elbow or shoulder, whatever it is. And you got to save the money. Get rid of him. Cameron Jordan, trust me when I tell you, this is hard enough for me to say. I would hate to see you play for another team, but it's time to go. Okay, you've had 2 or 3 sacks this year. It's time to hang it up. Okay, you're well respected in the city of New Orleans. It's just time for you to go. Next up, after they would do all this stuff, I would love for them to go out to these top veterans that are going to be pushing the market this year in the offseason. T. Higgins, 26 years old. Stephon Diggs, 31 years old. Aaron Jones, 30 years old. Najee Harris, 26 years old. And Justin Fields, also 25 years old. Now, there's 3 of these I would be okay with on one condition. I would 100% give the bag to T. Higgins. 100%. Go get him. Give him 20 mil for 3 years. 100%. But I don't think he's going to do that. He wants to take a pay cut for Cincinnati to stay with Joe Burrow, which can't argue that. Why would you want to go to New Orleans? Stephon Diggs, I would pass on. 31 years old, coming off of a terrible injury. I would pass on. Aaron Jones playing phenomenal. Again, 30 years old, running back. That's just 2 Alvin Kamaras. We don't need that. Najee Harris, 26 years old, I would sign him. 100% I would sign him. He would be a great complimentary back to Alvin Kamara. I would 100% sign Najee Harris out of Pittsburgh. And Justin Fields. So Justin Fields, I'm mixed on. It's either yes or no. There's no in between. If you're going to stick with Spencer Rattler, give him a full year, you're not going to go get Justin Fields. We don't need a quarterback room like Minnesota. Okay, we don't need a quarterback room like Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't need that. Okay, that's not what the Saints do. But if you're going to give Rattler the realms for a whole year, don't even think about going after Justin Fields. That is the veterans that are on my radar right now. Next up, offensive line. There's top candidates coming into the offseason right now for free agency. Will Fries, 26 years old. Trey Smith, 35 years old. Kevin Zeitler, 34 years old. Ronnie Staley, 30 years old. And Cam Robinson, 29 years old. There's 2 of these I would go after. Will Fries, 26 years old. And he's graded at 87. He's a great offensive lineman. I would go out and get him. Cam Robinson, left tackle. I would 100% go out and get him. He's 29 years old. Give him a 1-2 year deal with New Orleans. Give the quarterback some extra protection. I would 100% get him. Ronnie Stanley, he's going to be asking too much money, and he's 30 years old. No. Kevin Zeitler, he's 34 years old, going to be asking too much money. No. And Trey Smith off the Chiefs, 35 years old, and he's going to be asking a bag. So, no, I would not go after him. Let's talk about defense, right? Points per game, the defense has allowed 23.4 points per game. That is 19th. 379 points per game, or yards per game, 30th in the league. Yards per play, 5.8, 28th in the league. Third down percentage, 41% allowed, 21st in the league. Red zone percentage allowed, 55.6%. That is 15th in the league. Evened out at 15 out of 32 in the league, which is right into the top half of the league. Unacceptable for Saints standard. Now, defense, what I would do on the defense, clear up some cap space for the defense, right, for the offseason. Use some of those picks, go out, getting them good interior D linemen, some good linebackers. Pete Warner's phenomenal. Demario Davis, I don't know if he's going to retire or not, probably not. But the Saints currently stand at negative $66.8 million heading into the 2025 NFL season. There's some ways to work around this. You could have Derek Carr restructured, which would save $30 million. You could have Eric McCoy restructured, which would save $6 million. Cameron Jordan retires, saves $11 million. And Ryan Ramczyk retires, saves $19 million. We're a grand total of $65.5 million saved, which would cut us right under our negative amount. Now, here's an interesting thing about Derek Carr. So, post June 1st cut saves $30 million in this offseason for next year. Post June 1st trade, which is a trade clause, so he would have to waive it, which would save $40 million at 25. To me, that is not even an option. He would never agree to that, which was why I was so skeptical about getting Derek Carr. So I would just not even think about the trade option. He's not going to allow a trade, so just forget about that. I would either cut him. And another thing you got to watch out for at March 17th, if he can't pass a physical, New Orleans owes him $30 million. So after March 17th, if he can't pass a physical and New Orleans writes him a check for $30 million, the Saints aren't going to pay him $30 million and cut him. So hope and pray he can pass a physical and some right mind comes into that fucking front office and cuts him. Now, given all of that, what I would want New Orleans Saints to do this offseason, I would want to get rid of Ryan Ramczak, get rid of Cameron Jordan, get rid of Derek Carr, cut him, get rid of Eric McCoy, get rid of him, or restructure him. I'll take that back. I'd like to see Eric McCoy stay. He's a great offensive lineman. I would keep Eric McCoy. I would just get rid of everybody. I would get rid of Tyrann Mathieu, Juwan Johnson, Carl Granderson. Get rid of all of them. Either trade them for assets or cut them. And we need to tear this thing down from top to bottom. Gail Benson, what I would want her to do is she needs to sell this team. She needs to sell the Pelicans and the New Orleans Saints. Pelicans are one of the worst teams in the NBA, and the New Orleans Saints are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Ever since Tom Benson died and she took over the hands, it's been nothing but chaos in New Orleans. Either sell the team, get rid of Mickey Loomis, get a new GM in there, hire Aaron Glenn or Joe Brady, and do it like a Sean Payton Breeze. Have their head coach come in and have no stipulations to success for the first year, and just let him pick his quarterback, right? Give Spencer Rattler 1 full year with some talent. Go get T. Higgins, keep Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Olave comes back, Rashid Shaheed comes back. We need to draft a tight end. Demario Davis, Pete Warner, great middle linebackers. Alontae Taylor's there. Will Harris, he's nice, but we need some veterans on that. We need a veteran in the back end that's not too expensive, that's under 30 years old. Alvin Kamara is coming back, but I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, what are we doing with Kendre Miller? You already let Jason Cabote go. He was great in the preseason. That was a terrible move by the New Orleans Saints. So this is some of the stuff that I would want to see New Orleans do, and this is some of the factual stuff that's brought to your attention right now on the New Orleans Saints heading into 2025. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys want to see additional videos. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share it out. Thank you, guys.